So hi guys, welcome back again. I don't know why I looked left and right. Anyways, hi guys and welcome back again to my channel. This is the life of Wendy and this is the Wendy with all the gorgeousness. All right, welcome back to my channel. All right, let's get serious. From the title, you already know what this video is about. Over the last couple of days, since Monday morning, it's been in circulation about the whole Ibom Air saga with the irate passenger and all that. And that is the reason for doing this video. Now, this video, we are going to have a lot of lessons, a lot of pointers, a lot of information, that this video will avail to you that has watched this video and watch with an open mind, basically. Know how to behave and what is expected of us as citizens. So I would encourage you to watch and sit down and listen to this video right till the end. All right, so now let's get right into the video. Now we see the whole incident that started from Ibom Air. I'll give you a little backstory. So on Monday, we see a passenger of Ibom Air by the name of Comfort Bob. She's 26 years old, a female, getting dragged out of the airplane. And the backstory says that the passengers, eyewitnesses to this account, says that on the flight they were asked, normal protocol, turn off your devices, switch off all mobile devices, and or put them in airplane, put it in airplane mode. And the girl says that she put hers in airplane mode already. Then the air hostess comes and says, no, not airplane mode, I'm not going to take airplane mode, you have to shut down, you have to switch off completely all devices. I think the girl was, her device, her phone was in airplane mode, but she was watching a movie, and the lady did not want that. So she was pissed, her ego was tampered with, was touched, that a little girl would tell her no. And then she began to become abusive, using insultive words, just being generally verbally abusive towards the girl, and called her very demeaning words, the normal ashewo word, like the normal prostitute, called her a prostitute, that she's very sure she's a prostitute going for work, going to see service a client. And it got the girl, there's nobody that will be called such words that would not get triggered. And now this is eyewitness accounts, people that were on the same airplane with this lady, Bob Comfort. So they proceed to, that altercation, that verbal altercation continues, and at the point everything calmed down. Then it was time they had actually touched down. They were actually on the ground now, touched down. Then it was time for passengers to disembark from the plane. And when the girl tried to get up, she was restrained with force by men and women, putting her down. Like she would stand up to exit the seat, and she was pressed down. In fact, the passenger said that they restrained her physically, aggressively in that aircraft till everybody disembarked. Do you understand the point? You understand what may have been the trigger now? Then she came out. Initially, when everybody came out, when there was video of her telling the lady, the air hostess in question, excuse me, let me get off the aircraft. The lady held, like she was holding onto the door, the frames of the door, and did not want her to leave that airplane. Excuse me, I want to go down. And she was held, kept there. And this is just basically typically a case of holding somebody against their will, because she wanted to come down from the aircraft, and you physically prevented her from doing that. Physically restrained, forced down. She will get up, they will push her down and all that. So that whole encounter happened. Then she proceeds to want to leave the plane, and we saw that she set her camera and wants to leave the plane. The woman would stop. She wants to leave the plane, the woman will stop. Then there's another video by the airport, the officials of the Ibom Air, that they took, where the woman, at this point, the girl got agitated, she got frustrated and everything, and she did her, and there were words in the background, like people talking, people filming. We are saying that she has been slapping the woman, she has slapped 5 times, but we did not see any of that. Okay, now I will take you back to the 8th of January this year. Back to the 8th of January, there was an Ibom Air Abuja bound from same Akwa Ibom. Are you listening? Are you following? There was an Ibom Air aircraft going in the evening around 5:30 from Akwa Ibom to Abuja. It was an evening flight, probably their last flight for the day. They told them before getting on that aircraft that because of excess luggage, any luggage that exceeds 20 kg, you have to sign an indemnity that you agree, you allow the aircraft, the airline authority to use their discretion to send in your luggage with the next aircraft coming to Abuja from Akwa Ibom. They signed that thing, they agreed. You know, this is festive season, and most of the time, a lot of people have extra luggage, extra baggage, you know, gifts, foodstuffs, and all that from family going back home after the festivities. This was on the 8th of January, remember. So they signed this form and said, yes, we all agree. For people that had luggage in excess of 20 kg. For people that had luggage in excess of 20 kg, that your luggage may, all of it may or may not, meaning you can have some of your luggage with you. Then there are some of you that may not have any luggage with you in this particular trip, on this particular aircraft going to Abuja. Do you understand? The form they signed meant that out of all of us that have 20 kg in excess, over 20 kg luggage, if we are 10, maybe 5 of us out of that 10, 5 may have some if 5 of us have five luggages each, if 5 of us have five luggages each, 5 of us may have, out of our 5 luggage, we may have 1 or 2 or 3 on this aircraft to Abuja. May is a conditional statement, it is under probability. Then the rest of us, you will not have at all. None of your things may join you at all except your carry-on. Una dey hear? Except your carry-on. And they signed and they agreed. Then they boarded. So they boarded the aircraft, and there was a woman, her name has been withheld, that sat by the window seat. She was fortunate or unfortunate to have booked the window seat. So she was by the window looking down for those ramp loaders, those people that are the ramp to load the luggage inside the boot, inside the compartment for luggage, right? She was looking at them. She was looking, watching them load, load bags. And she did not see any of her belongings. Now, she may have signed that thing, hoping that even if now 2, even if it is 1, let it be on that aircraft. But she forgot that what she signed also held the space, the clause for you may not even have any luggage on that aircraft. Cha 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 cha. Are you people following? So she looked down and thinking, so these people really meant this thing we signed. I didn't know that even my own, I'll be this unlucky not to get even 1 luggage on board with me. So she said, after she finished watching them load up the aircraft, she now started raising alarm. She started, making noise, causing a rank or a rift. That her luggage must come in on this aircraft. That they must put her bag, that she cannot be in an aircraft and her bag will be left behind in Akwa Ibom. Meanwhile, she's already at her destination in Abuja. That she will not. And they said, but we have explained to you. Co-passenger said, but we also signed this form. That's no problem. Airlines always have these contingencies around this period. No wahala. We all signed. Or did you not sign? And she probably said she signed. So why are you trying to cause commotion? And the woman stood her ground and said that this aircraft will not leave, will not take off if her bags are not put in that aircraft. And they told her, okay, if it is this important to you, come down from the aircraft. Let us take other passengers to their destination. And she said she goes nowhere. She came down from the aircraft, but she was irate. She was uncontrollable. She was loud, destructive on the ground. Literally held that aircraft, same Ibom Air, hostage. Now, why I am glad that this same incident happened with the same airline is for you to see and know how they perceive and how they judge and handle situations based on profiling. Now, this woman stood, she was well covered, she was put on a white linen shirt and a trouser. her hair made with her, her glasses. So typically looking at her, you will know, or you will assume she's a responsible woman, young woman, married woman, maybe with a husband or children. You've already profiled her to be somebody of, moral class. You've already put her in this moral upright category. Then looking at this other girl that wasn't, properly dressed, in quotes, young single lady flying by herself, unmarried, probably you don't know what her source of income is, you don't know, you've assessed her and seen that she looks expensive, but she's too young to be able to afford the luxury that she has on her. You have also profiled her. Now, why were these situations handled entirely differently? I'll tell you how the Abuja own was handled. The lady in Abuja was protected by the airline, by the staff of Ibom Air. When the irate co-passengers, now the flight was not now able to fly anymore, because Akwa Ibom Airport is a sunset airport, meaning after a certain time of day, sunset is when there's no more sunlight, when the day is beginning to become dark. And remember, this was a 5:30 p.m. flight, meaning it's already late evening. So because it is a sunset airport, the flight couldn't take off anymore because they had had so much delay already as a result of this rancor by this woman. And they won't be able to get signal from the cockpit. So there is no point risking everybody on board because you just want to deliver on your promise to take them to Abuja. There is no signal. There's nothing to control the pilots, So that flight was cancelled. They had no choice but to cancel this flight. Now, the airline sustained more damages in the sense that they had to incur more expenses in the tune of to millions of naira, because all the passengers on board, there were 89 passengers. The lady made them 90. So we are talking about the welfare of 89 other passengers now. 89 passengers, the ones that lived within Akwa Ibom, or had family or relatives that had like an accommodation within Akwa Ibom that they could go back to. They had to transport them one by one to their locations. That cost money. The ones that claimed that did not have where to live, where to spend the night, they had to put them in a hotel. And know that hotels, you have to use the hotels around the airport, which are very, very usually expensive. Now, you will not cramp them or put them together, strangers in a room. You have to put them in individual rooms. They fed them. They gave them snacks. They gave them refreshment. They gave them food. The ones you camped in the hotel, you feed them even the next day. Then that whole income of that flight now was lost because you still had to take them to Abuja. Meaning that if there was a fully booked flight already that was scheduled to go to Abuja, they lost income from that to the tune of millions of naira. There is ground fee for takeoff, for landing, that they had to pay. They had to have paid it before your flight even arrived, so that the airspace that whole time is preserved for you and you alone to land. All these are expenses that they incurred. But do you know what? When the irate passengers were downstairs shouting, I have flights, I paid 2,000 pounds for my British Airways that leaves early in the morning, I have lost that money. Where do I go from here? I have important meetings. I have appointments that I have to attend to, that I have to be at. Everybody was irate. They were waiting for the woman to come down from the airline, from that aircraft. But do you know what the airline officials did? They kept her safe inside the airline. Then there were some on ground, some of the officials on ground, trying to douse the tension on ground, trying to talk and plead and beg them that please, it is not like this. Let's cool our tempers. Let's, hope for the best. One was even heard saying, do you know what this delay must have cost you? I think at the end of the day, we'll have to even thank God, because of in every delay, in every denial, there is a hidden blessing. That whole spirituality that we Nigerians like to, carry on our head. This was what some airline officials that were sent downstairs to do the groundwork were heard saying. I'm going to put the clip for you so you hear it.
This is the lady that stopped stop this flight from going to Abuja. I'm posting it on my Instagram page, and I'm going to tag Ibom Air. I am posting it on my Instagram page, and we are going to tag Ibom Air. Look at her. You unfold a whole flight for one human being. We are following you. Better face this camera now, because it's going on Instagram. It's going on Twitter. Look at her. Everybody has got a knife. Why didn't you deboard her? No, we are following her.
Okay, now you have seen the clip, right? Okay. After tempers had calmed down, after tempers, everybody, the situation was a bit though under control. The woman comes down. We see her coming down from the aircraft. She comes down. Some people wanted to lynch her. Some passengers wanted to beat her up. Do you know what the airline officials did? They formed a human barricade around her. They used their hands. They formed a circle. I'm sure you saw it. They barricaded her. They protected her and led her away. Now, that is a felony. That is a criminal offense. Felony for hijack, for offenses like this, can carry as much as a life sentence and 10 million naira fine. Hijacking a plane. They led her away. The airport security, AFSEC, aviation security people came, handed her over to them, who in turn handed her over to the police for prosecution. And she got prosecuted, she got banned, she got all those things. But hers was done the right way. Her morality was still preserved. Her dignity was kept intact. She was shielded from the public. She was shielded from her co-passengers that she had messed up. That is one. The other instance, just late last week, a few days to this whole Comfort Bob's incident, was our legendary legend, Kwam1, the Ultimates, literally physically holding the plane hostage. We could see him stand in front of the aircraft. When the aircraft will try to move, he goes in the direction. When the aircraft goes this way, he goes in the direction, until the pilot, which was not, ethical, decided to do what she did, to fly the plane regardless, and he docked. Now, if you say that because this lady assaulted a staff, these air hostesses are meant to be very professional. I remember growing up, being a pilot or a air hostess was one of the prestigious careers that little girls and boys looked forward to doing growing up. With the likes of being a doctor, being an engineer, being a lawyer, pilot and air hostess always made that list. If you know, let me know in the comment section. Just drop it down. Okay, so they are made to work even under pressure, handle conflict, handle passengers, grievances, all sorts of personalities, all sorts of tempers, with a smile on their face. Now there have been several witnesses and victims to this same air hostess rudeness, her callousness, her unprofessionalism. Both boys and girls alike, men and women alike, they have come to pour in their experiences. I'm going to be leaving screenshots now as I'm talking this. They have talked several times about how this same air hostess stopped a Ghana-bound flight from taking off from Lagos because a passenger said he was not going to switch off his phone. He was going to put it in airplane mode. His seat was number 10. There was still a long way down the aisle that she could have gone to make sure that other passengers complied, instead of picking on one passenger that bruises her ego small. So this air hostess has an ego problem. She's so proud and arrogant that she cannot take being disrespected. This tiny amount of disrespect, she cannot take it. So when the young man said he wasn't going to turn off his phone, give me time, you don't talk to him. The man told her, do not talk to me like that, like I'm not a child, don't talk to me like that. And she said, I will talk to you in whatever way I deem fit. You don't know what's about to happen to you. She made several threats. And the man was like, I have even at this point put my phone in airplane mode already. But this lady was just picking on him and said she was going to prove a point And she did prove that point. That plane did not go to Ghana. That plane did not reach Ghana. This same air hostess, this same woman in particular, different accounts have come up, different victims to her rudeness, her aggression, and everything. They have come out to talk. These are witnesses. Now, when there is evidence to one person's flaws, then that person seems now to be the problem. Manner of approach is everything. The way you deliver a message can determine how that message will be received, and reacted to. You can tell somebody something and somebody else tells somebody else the same thing, tell somebody that same thing, but they are received and reacted to in opposite ways. Air hostesses always have the smiles on their face. This woman had no smile. Even from the other witnesses that had encountered her, how she was bullying a male passenger and made that guy leave for the same rudeness, for the same issue. They deboarded the guy and whisked him away, like let him out of the aircraft. And other passengers in that aircraft were talking that, woman, you are mean, you're evil, you're this, you're that. You could see that she had no smile on her face. Rather, she had this smirk like, you guys don't know me. That was all she had on her face. Okay, now, back to K1, the ultimate. He did not only hijack the plane, the same assault that you claim she had been assaulting you people on the aircraft was the same thing K1 did. Maybe people will think that because he didn't use his hand, physical hand, then he did not assault. Pouring contents of any bottle, of any cup, pouring any liquid content of, even if it was water, is assault. And if you have done that first, the recipient, the person you assaulted in that way, has every right to react however she deems fit. So far, it is measurable to whatever it was you did. We saw him spill drink. We saw him spill the content of his mug, of his flask, on a crew member. And what did he get away with? An apology and a federal pardon. Now we have seen almost the same incident play out, and she was not only dehumanized in the most embarrassing way. You hold a defenseless girl on 2 hands and 2 feet. You hold her, trying to remove her from an aircraft that she had been begging you to give her space, let her pass and get down honorably. You dishonored her body, you dishonored her integrity, you dishonored her womanhood. Brought her out unclad from the waist up. We could see in slow motion, if you saw the slow motion video that the Freeze posted on his page yesterday, you could see an official, a cabin crew or an official wearing that green vest, reach for her blouse and ripped it out, ripped it off, while her hands and her legs were being held when she was being physically removed from the aircraft. Now, people have begun to criticize. They have left what the problem is. They have left what the issue is, and they are attacking something else that means absolutely nothing in this situation. What has her choice of not putting on bra? What has it got to do with her morality as a young girl? Does wearing bra or not wearing bra make you a decent person? And the answer is, let me know in the comment section. Why would you profile somebody because you feel like she is too young to be able to afford some certain things, and you condescend her with the way you talk to her, the way you treat her, pushing her down? And for people that were saying the girl is aggressive, that she too do, her hands were flying, have you ever been in a situation where you only you against the world? Her response at that time was either fight or flee. Fleeing was not an option because she was surrounded, she was cornered in all areas. The only other alternative was to fight, was to use her her might, her last strength to defend herself. She was not going to go down without a fight. This is a young girl, and men and women are there pouncing on her, taunting her, calling her names. We could see even when she was trying to hold her clothes to cover what is left of her decency, someone was trying to still remove her hand from covering her breasts. Now, the aviation minister has come out to say she would not be forgiven, she will not be pardoned. She has been remanded in Kirikiri. She's still in Kirikiri as we speak. She hasn't said any word. Now, I can understand that from the video, this lady was hitting, as shown, she was hitting this lady. But we also saw from the video that if she was allowed to exit the aircraft, just exit the aircraft, and if you want to hand her over to the AFSEC, the aviation security, do it honorably. Just how other people, just how the lady in January was, handed over, even protected, or how the gentleman also was, removed from the aircraft. It wouldn't have gotten to this because there was no way this girl was going to abscond. There was no space, there was no room for absconding. So she was always going to end up being prosecuted for assaulting Abi. But let's not forget that actions and reactions are equal. Actions and reactions are equal. Every reaction is as a result of an action. Every single reaction from that lady was as a result of the actions that had been meted on her, because everybody in that aircraft couldn't have been wrong. Everybody in that aircraft couldn't have been lied against the air hostess that she was beyond rude. Now, this also has just shown us how our standards have been crippling, have been falling in all sectors, down to the aviation sector. Now we have seen it in the past. Before you qualify to become an air hostess, before you qualify, you will go training now. You will go to the school, you will be trained, you will be disciplined, like utmost discipline. You are expected to take rubbish, you are expected to take any form of verbal abuse with a smile. But now, because the standard has tanked, I don't even know if they train or if they invest in training them for that long before they just recruit them. Oh, this is cheaper. It is cheaper if we don't train them extensively. Just come on board. And this is the result. So now, what is good for the goose is good for the gander. If K1 can go out with just a slap on his wrist, no prison term, no fine, nothing, no embarrassment, and he even now went on the next available flight on his trip for his show. Yes, he was put on the next available flight. Let us not forget that justice for one is justice for all, and injustice to one is injustice to everybody. It is this girl today, Comfort Bob. It is her turn. Yes, it was her turn. Tomorrow, it can be your own turn. Yes, tomorrow, it can be your turn. It can be the turn of your aged parent, of your uncle, of your mother, of that your child that you love so well. It can be her turn. So should we start now leaving the elephant in the room and be talking about her choice of bras? Did God create bra? When Adam and Eve were in the Bible, did any one of them wear bra? Do you know how uncomfortable wearing bra is? Then we all have such double standard that a person can come out and be on the streets of Instagram without bra, so far nothing is showing. You're fine, you're termed decent because you covered up without wearing bra. But you're condemning somebody that was in an aircraft, a 45-minute trip, with a jacket over her bodysuit. And you're saying she's probably a runs girl. If she's a runs girl, uncle, does that now say she should be treated like a rag doll? Don't everybody have a right under the Constitution? I don't know. So this is just my own thought. This is just my own, like, everybody should be treated equally. The same treatments for the high should be the same treatment for the low. Let's just all stop this double standard. We see Kemi Olunloyo saying the girl is this, The girl is that. She wants to now be the moral doctor, the judge of morality, forgetting her own past, forgetting that she also has a past that is open for the public to see and criticize and condemn. On morality, she has something to you're coming to a fight, but you have a firewood in your eye, and you're talking about the speck in someone's eyes. I am not one to judge, I'm not one to condemn anybody based on what you can see on the outside. So that is all I have to just say today. And I just hope this girl gets the justice she deserves, because now 2 wrongs cannot make a right. She's on her ground to file a lawsuit and sue the entire airline, Ibom Air. It will be, and she will have a very good case, because assault or stubbornness, would I say stubbornness, refusal to turn off your phone, should not equate exposing my personal, my private property to the glaring of the whole world to see. It doesn't weigh the same on the scale. So now the whole judgment will now be on them. You were trying to be right, but in you trying to be right, you have become all shades of wrong. Anyways, let me end it here. This video is becoming too emotional and too long. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know what you think. If you watch up until this time, thank you so much. If you're not subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? I never tried. Haven't I tried? Please click on the subscribe button so that you're notified. Whenever I post a new video. Please give this video a massive thumbs up, leave a comment, and share this video so that every better person, every correct person, you know, will get it. Thank you so much. I'll see you again in my next one. For now, bye.